So we're here with Nancy today. We're actually in the shop, so we don't have the best lighting or acoustics. But Nancy just came back to have a few tweaks on her van. Nancy picked up her Metris. How long has it been? October, and we're in, well, we have masks on, so we're in Corona time. And how's your Metris camper been, Nancy?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely fell in love with it, to where there was a period I had to part with it when I was traveling with it for 4 months, and I started to cry.
Oh.
And I had to leave it. I got so attached.
Because your van has a name, right?
It does. So this is called Moku, which in Hawaiian means spaceship. And so you note the little rocket ship. And it also means to sever all ties.
Oh, okay. Got it. And then, so I remember when we first met you, I don't remember the exact context, but you came in and I wasn't sure if you really knew what this was or you knew what you wanted, and you seemed to know, but what was the process like of deciding around this? Because you were an early customer. You weren't in that first 5, but you were in that first like 12 to 15, I feel like.
I had somehow been looking for something, a way. I live in the San Juan Islands, and I'm not a camper, and but I've always had VWs, but never a camper van. I was looking for the new VW to come out, and then when it did and they told us we couldn't have it, I had been on your site looking for rentals, and it was just like the rental amount of time to have rented it just didn't feel like it was going to be enough. And then I just randomly found the link to the Peace Vans Modern site.
Right.
And when I saw it, it also made me feel like, as a single female traveling with no mechanical skills, that I could feel really comfortable in this.
And because when you left, I've told the story anecdotally, and this is the first time we ever caught it on film, but I've told this story like a dozen times at least. I mean, you picked up the van from Mercedes Metris in Seattle. You went to Elkai Beach and like boondock, and then I feel like you hit the road for 60-something days.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, I definitely can, like, you know, elaborate stories a little bit.
I boondocked in Elkai. I've never boondocked before, and then I drove it back, packed it up. Had never spent a night in it otherwise, and the first time was 66 days straight. I took a bit of a break, left the van down in Southern California, and then went back down and did another 20. It ended up being 92 days.
Wow.
And I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with, and a lot of it, it was in the winter, and a lot of it was just actually holing up inside, not even using the pop top.
Mm-hmm.
And
so let me ask, you know, we're Peace fans. What's it been like working with Peace fans? Like the good, the bad, and the ugly?
No, it's been fabulous. Just the personal connection and the friendliness and the receptivity and the feeling when I'm being told call anytime, but when I do call anytime,
and
it seems to be all right.
You have called. I feel like we've had a few weekend calls or questions from you.
Yeah, you know, I'll be on the road and I'll call, and it's just, however, I feel like it's all right to call. It's like I'm being told it's all right, but then I absolutely feel it's all right.
Right. And then you've mentioned a few times as a single woman traveling, I asked that question because we now have at least a half dozen customers like that, and it feels really great to deliver a product to market where people feel comfortable traveling in it. Like, was that ever a thing for you, or something that you thought about, or what's been your experience? Or?
I think partly having lived on a rural island for 20 years helped prepare me. I was surprised to meet up with other women and they were quite surprised that I was as comfortable as I was doing this. I kept a pretty low profile, and it just felt so, just the vehicle itself feels so safe, so it adds to, I never felt like I was going to be so I would be parked and there would be an old VW camper van next to me, and every morning those people would say, let's see if she starts.
Right, yes, as we can see, you know, the rest of the shop, yeah.
And I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel more, you know it's going to start and it's going to get ready to go and not break down.
Yeah. So you would recommend a product like this?
Absolutely. In fact, I have absolutely no regrets whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, because and we talk about this in our literature. I mean, it's an expensive product, and we get it. But it's nice to hear you say, like, given all that, you really have no regrets about the decision. You've gotten value, enjoyment,
and
everything
you
you've
get to
wanted.
dream. You get to start visioning and dreaming what you could do with it when you have it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I personally love about Peace Vans is this. Whether it's the rental, the modern business, the vintage business, just the potential we create for people. Not everyone realizes that potential or achieves it, but we enable that, and it seems like you've reached some of that.
And the connection. So the connection, just to be out in the world with this, people are going to, they're interested.
Yeah, there's no question, yeah. Well, I just wanted one final thing. I mean, you have impeccable taste in down coats. This was not planned in any stretch. I think yours has survived a little better than mine.
I love it. Actually, I've had it repaired through Wardenwear shops.
Yes, totally. But thank you. I mean, it's just, we love all our customers, and you're emblematic of that. You've been a pleasure to work with. This was a spontaneous desire when you came into that. It's like, I would love to capture some of Nancy's story on film and maybe share it with other people. So thank you so much. Stay in touch. Enjoy your van.
I feel like I'm what would it be? Someone who goes out and talks about
an ambassador. An ambassador.
I really take that on.
Thank you.
I've kind of given myself the job.
Thank you. Well, look for Nancy on the road. Maybe you'll see her on the road in her van, and just quietly say hi and introduce yourselves. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Yeah.